Hello, welcome to my art studio and welcome to this video. Today I thought I would talk a little bit about the abstract art painting process and my approach to painting. I am right bang in the middle of a series of paintings on paper, acrylic paint on paper. And I would say I'm about halfway through. I'm in the middle of the paintings. They are very far from finished, but they are also now got a sense of themselves. They have a very basic composition. I've made some decisions about the colour palette, and I'm just pondering what I do next. And so I thought I'd talk to you about how I'm making that decision, what I am thinking about in terms of how I move these paintings forward. And the thing about abstract painting or semi-abstract painting is that, I'm not trying to create something that looks like something else. I'm trying to bring myself and my emotions and my interests and my curiosities and embed them into paintings. And so therefore, sometimes it can take more thought process than you might think. I think lots of people think that abstract painting is super easy, and actually it can also come with more thinking and unpicking and reflecting. So I'm in the middle stages of these paintings. They've sort of got a slight sense of what they're going to be, but I could take them in lots of different directions. And so at this point, when I'm at a crossroads, a path in the woods, I like to take stock and to really try and articulate to myself, how do I want these paintings to feel as a sort of direction of travel? So defining some thoughts about how I want these paintings to feel as a way to help me move along that path and to get these paintings to where I want them to be. I have written some notes. If you've been here for any length of time, you'll know that I'm always writing, encouraging others to write about their art as a way to bring clarity, to order thoughts, and to just illuminate some of the things that might be circling around in your head about your painting and your painting process. I've answered the question, how do I want these paintings to feel? So the very first thing I've written is joy and depth. I'm really interested in contrasts and paradoxes and two sides of the same coin. So I want my paintings to feel joyful, but I also want them to have maybe a slightly darker underbelly, because I think the interest often comes from the contrast between two disparate and different things. Often you can make a painting feel interesting by adding in something that is different from what's already there. So playing with this idea of difference and contrast, I guess I'm trying to explore this idea of difference and contrast through the lens of emotions. So I've put joy, but I also want there to be a depth, a slightly darkness. And this idea of opposites and contrasts really helped me when I was thinking about what I wanted in these paintings. So I've put wildness and order, freedom and control, space and intensity, beauty and disarray. So I want my paintings to be beautiful, but I also want a little bit of undoneness, a little bit of edge, just a little bit of kind of anti-pretty. Once you've defined how you want your painting to feel, then that can inform all the really practical decisions that you make. So if I'm wanting my painting to have a sense of freedom and a sense of control, for the freedom I might leave areas empty. I might use a big brush. If I want to then add in a sense of control, it might be a really small detail brush with repetitive marks. So I'm really wanting to use these sort of notes that I've taken to inform practical decisions. And now that I've really spent some time thinking and unpicking how I want these paintings to feel, I feel better equipped to move to the next stage. I often find that with painting, that at every stage of the process I have to kind of retake stock. Do they feel how I want them to feel? And that is probably my kind of number one guiding idea. I can now look at these paintings with the lens of what I've written and think, okay, so if I want this painting to have more joy, what would I do? If I want this painting to have more depth, what would I do? It just helps guide the next stages. And there will be quite a few more layers, I think, to these paintings. I like the colour palette. For me, they need just a little bit more of that complexity, intensity, detail. You know, you might think from the outside, oh, I'm just painting a leaf, but I'm wanting my paintings to have an impact, to say something, to reflect me in some way. So therefore, I think it's really important for me to think about some of these ideas, some of these sort of more obtuse, emotional things that I'm wanting to embed within the paintings. And it really struck me as I was writing this list of the things that I wanted within my paintings, how I wanted my paintings to feel, that actually this list is nearly exactly about how I want my life to feel. And so the things that I value in my life seem to be the things I also value in my painting. So I want joy, I want depth, I want wildness, I want order in my life. And it just really struck me how there is a really close and clear parallel between the things that I search for and seek in my life and the things I search and seek for in my paintings, which I suppose is not a surprise, but actually when I wrote it down, that thought really struck me very clearly and very profoundly. I've really found that painting abstract art is actually quite thought-provoking. I do think that creating art that comes from your imagination and from your soul and from your curiosities in the world, prompts you to think about all these things. So I'm not just picking pretty colours. I'm thinking about actually, what do I want to put on this page? Why do I want to create this artwork? How do I want it to feel? How do I want other people to feel? And obviously I can't dictate how other people feel when they look at my art, but I can think about how I want to feel when I look at it, how I want to feel when I paint it. So it's an interesting, it is an interesting process. And I think that's part of why I find art and art making such a fascinating pursuit.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane, and as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond